for the briefest of moments. Every last man at Shawshank felt free.
Wow.
And everyone's in on it, including her.
It went through, didn't it? Some people have told me this is the greatest movie of all time. I believe y'all, but I'm here to find out today. One of the first movies I watched on this channel was The Green Mile. Bawled my eyes out. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. This one was highly recommended, and I'm finally here today. The only thing I know about this movie is Morgan Freeman, prison, redemption, something. Let's check this out. If you like this video, go ahead and like the video. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that sub button. I have 60+ reaction to movies and TV shows on this channel. You can check this out. And of course, if you want the full version uninterrupted, you can check that out on Patreon. With all that said, let's see why this is the greatest of all time. But before we get into this movie, let's pay some bills. The sponsor of today's video is me. As some of you might have guessed by now, I am an artist. I create oil paintings. You can see it in my studio. I change them off often. A way you can support me and the channel is by purchasing some of my work. Now, these are not the original paintings, but I doubt you could tell the difference. These are museum quality canvas prints. These are prints that are sturdy and professionally made, ready to hang once you get them. There's a variety of portrait and wildlife options you can pick from. If you use the promo code FrankArt, you can get 20% off any of these professional prints. The link to my shop is in the description, so if you feel like spicing up your walls, hanging some art, and supporting a local artist, go down to my website and get yourself a piece of art. Once again, the promo code is FrankArt for 20% off on the checkout. Thank you to me for sponsoring this video. Let's see why this movie is the GOAT. Is this also Stephen King? Because I assume it was, because everyone was recommending it right after The Green Mile, so I'm hoping this is Stephen King as well. Oh, we're not starting in a prison. What are you grabbing? Oh, is that a piece? That was a bad combination right there. A gun and booze.
You had with your wife the night that she was murdered.
Oh.
She said she was glad I knew, that she hated all the sneaking around, divorce in Reno.
She cheated?
I'll see you in hell before I see you in Reno. Those were the words you used, Mr. Dufresne, according to the testimony.
Yikes.
If they say so.
And drunk.
Glenn Quentin.
Oh.
Hills Country Club. The man you had recently discovered was your wife's lover.
Yikes.
Did you follow her?
Drove to his house to confront them. They weren't home, so
That's what we saw.
When they arrived, you went up to the house and murdered them.
Jesus.
I was sobering up. Along the way, I stopped and I threw my gun into the Royal River. I feel I've been very clear on this point.
Well, where I get hazy is where the cleaning woman shows up the following morning and finds your wife in bed with her lover riddled with .38 caliber bullets.
Jeez. Did he do it?
That's very convenient.
I mean, they're making a very good case against him, but the way he's almost like, you can see it in his face, he's almost like convinced that he did not do that. Interesting. I'm 50-50. So I'm guessing this is what gets him in prison.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. You know all the facts. Likewise with fingerprints. And most of all, we have a beautiful young woman and her lover lying dead in each other's arms.
Did he get framed?
Sinned. Cold-blooded nature. Consider this. 4 bullets per victim. Not 6 shots fired, but 8. That means that he fired the gun empty and then stopped to reload.
To give some more.
I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back.
Oof. So could it be a case of him maybe blacking out? I mean, he didn't look that drunk. But again, all the evidence against him is pretty stacked. And he has a very good lawyer against him. I mean, the speech that lawyer gave to the jury, I mean, especially making the distinction between just like an accident and or a crime of passion versus like premeditated, especially with the reloading part. Like, yeah, that's nasty. Like, but I'm not fully convinced that he. Oh yeah, it is a Stephen King book. I'm not fully convinced that he did it, just because of the shock in his face. That like, what's going on?
That's it? You see by your file you've served 20 years of a life sentence?
Oof.
Sir,
You feel you've been rehabilitated?
absolutely, sir.
His voice.
My lesson. I'm a changed man, no longer a danger to society. That's God's honest truth.
I wonder what he did. Rejected. Yikes. Just like that, rejected. If you're watching this, let me know in the comments how parole meetings usually go. Like, what do they evaluate? Because, I mean, we don't know anything about him, but like, he seemed pretty genuine. But I guess anyone trying to get out of jail would be genuine about parole. But like, do they go look how your behavior was for your 20 years or something? Like, how do they make that decision to offer someone? I'm not even sure parole is the right word, but I think so. Let me know in the comments.
I'm up for rejection next week.
Up for rejection.
Front me your deck.
Got my face for you, man. You went to me for 5 packs already. 4, 5.
There must be a con like me in every prison in America. Damn near anything within reason. I'm a regular Sears and Roebuck. Frame came to me in 1949 and asked me to smuggle Rita Hayworth into the prison for him. I told him, no problem.
Rita Hayworth? A whole person? How do you smuggle a whole person?
Andy came to Shawshank prison in early 1947 for murdering his wife and the fella she was banging. He'd been vice president of a large Portland bank.
Wow. Well, that's a pleasant welcome. I think I'm gonna love this movie. I can feel it, you know?
I've seen such a sorry-looking heap of maggot shit in all my life.
I'm recognizing a lot of actors from The Green Mile as well. That dude that just spoke right now was the father of the 2 girls. And the lawyer from the beginning was one of the guards at the mile.
Smoke's a coin. Better's choice.
Smokes. Put me down for 2.
All right, who's your horse?
That little sack is shit.
I'll take the chubby fat ass there.
What they betting on?
Looked like a stiff breeze would blow him over. That was my first impression of the man.
All right, who's gonna prove me wrong?
That's a big bet.
Her to the right! Ice front!
Hadley, he's captain of the guards. I'm Mr. Norton, the warden. You are convicted felons. I'll not have the Lord's name taken in vain in my prison. The other rules, you'll figure out as you go along.
When do we eat?
Boy, they about to teach you a lesson.
You shit when we say you shit, and you piss when we say you piss. You got that, you maggot dick mother...
Golly.
Put your trust in the Lord. Your ass belongs to me. Welcome to Shawshank.
I love that line. And I think maybe I'm reading in too much, but I think that line says a lot about his character. It's like, yes, he's very strict and like Bible and for God. Put your trust in God, but your belongs to me. I think that last portion of that sentence also means like, don't think because I'm a godly man, I won't you up. So I think that says a lot about his character.
Move to the end of the cage. Turn around.
What is this for?
Go to your left, pick up your clothes and Bible. Next man up.
They march you in naked as the day you were born. Skin burning and half blind from that delousing shit they throw.
Delousing.
Put you in that cell. When those bars slam home. Nothing left but all the time in the world.
I'm not gonna make this comparison in a way where to even seem like is even remotely close to the same thing, but I remember the first time my brother and I got sent to boarding school. And I don't know what it is about like Morgan Freeman's voice narrating what he just said about you coming in and those bars getting shoved for the first time and like the realization setting in. Obviously, boarding school is not horrible, but like, you know, there's two type of boarding school. There's rich boarding school and there's like regular boarding school. I went to regular boarding school where it was like rough. So I don't mean to make the comparison together because they're not equal. I mean, they can't be, but essentially you're leaving the comfort of home and going to a place with strange people, very strict. And before I continue, I just want to say I love that like Morgan Freeman's voice is gonna narrate this whole movie. What more can you ask for? Like, ain't a lot of voices like this.
Lights on!
Andy Dufresne.
The boys always go fishing with first-timers. And they don't quit till they reel someone in.
And if you sleep, you're going night. Talk to me, boy.
Yeah.
I can hear you breathing.
Terrorizing them.
You hear me? I'll introduce you around.
I don't belong here. We have a winner. Where's Fist?
Tormenting them.
I ain't supposed to be here.
I ain't gonna count to 3. I'm not even gonna count to 1. You will shut the or I'll sing you a lullaby.
Be here.
Open it.
Uh-oh. Come on. What's the point of beating him up? It's not that funny anymore, is it? That's enough, my guy.
If I hear so much as a mouse fart in here the rest of the night, I swear by God and Sonny Jesus, you will all visit the infirmary.
For what? To prove a point? Why do they all look surprised? I mean, don't they know the warden at this point? Not the warden, the officer. Don't they know that's what he does? Y'all are acting surprised that he whooped that man's as if it's the first time y'all have seen it happen. Is it? Didn't seem like something he just started doing overnight. Yo, you gonna get what's coming to you, officer. If it's Stephen King, yeah.
2 south clear. Clear and 3 south.
Not a word.
South clear.
Here 4 south. Clear.
Roll out.
Just do what everyone else does. This is so like boarding school. Which makes sense, right? The whole structure part of it. They're gonna pick on him. Yep, that's a maggot.
Are you going to eat that? Do you mind?
Give it to Pops. That's protein right there. Oh? Aww, feeding his bird.
Jake says thank you. I'm gonna look after him until he's big enough to fly.
That's sweet.
Morning, fellas.
Yep. Trouble.
Come on, set them down. I want them all lined up. Look at that. Richmond, Virginia.
Smell my
How's that horse of mine doing anyway?
Dead?
Oh?
Hadley busted his head up pretty good. Poor bastard laid there till this morning.
He didn't make it?
Wasn't nothing we could do.
Wow.
What'd you say?
Just wondering if anyone knew his name.
Do you care, new fish?
He didn't do it. he didn't murder the wife. I don't know, man. Just that interaction between them, just him wondering his name. I mean, that speaks a lot to character, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, this man is dead, but like, I want to know his name. Like, someone should remember his name for whatever purpose, like, you know, to honor him or anything. And his rebuttal to that is, I don't care what his name is, he's dead. Yeah, if I had any doubt that he didn't murder his wife and the other dude, that just confirmed it for me. That spoke a lot to his character, in my opinion. Red noticed that too.
Anybody get to you yet? I could be a friend to you.
Walk away.
Andy kept pretty much to himself at first, trying to adapt to life on the inside. Wasn't until a month went by that he finally opened his mouth to say more than 2 words to somebody.
A whole month.
As it turned out, that somebody was me.
The meeting.
Wife-killing banker.
I didn't, since you asked.
You gonna fit right in. Everybody in is innocent. And you know that?
I understand you're a man that knows how to get
I'm known to locate certain things from time to time.
a rock hammer.
Hello?
Why?
What do you care? Rock hammer's about 6 or 7 inches long. Some mica, shale. I have no enemies here.
Wait a while.
Vinland Saga.
Word gets around, especially Boggs.
Call them sisters.
It would help any if I explained to them I'm not homosexual.
Neither are they. Grow eyes in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's any trouble, I won't use the rock hammer, okay?
I guess you want to escape. Tunnel under the wall, maybe. If I missed something here, what's funny?
That's what I'm thinking.
Risk goes up, price goes up.
40%?
Making it even $10. They do catch you with it. You don't know me. Mention my name, we'd never do business again. Red. Name's Red.
Why do they call you that?
Maybe it's because I'm Irish.
I love their interactions so far.
Talk that just wasn't normal around here. Like a man in a park without a care or a worry in the world.
I love this. Cause now this has me wondering like what his life was before what we know of him. Because I mean, we started the movie just seeing him with the gun in hand and the trial. So that's his overall demeanor that Morgan Freeman, that Red just explained. I just assumed was just him being in shock, even at the trial. But yeah, he had a walk to him. He had a certain like charisma to him and a gentleness. I love how Red explained that. And like I say, it makes me wonder what his previous life was like. He was a bank manager or something like that. But yeah, I want to know way more about his past and everything now.
Move it! Cut! Move it!
Oh, is that a special package?
Bob, how you doing?
I think that was a special package for Red.
Red.
He got something for you. So slick with it.
I finally got the joke. It will take a man about 600 years to tunnel the wall with one of these. Look.
Is that the old man from the cafeteria?
Delivery for Dufresne.
That's the currency right there. Cigarettes.
Look. Dufresne.
I wonder what he needs the hammer for.
Dufresne!
Or they're working their off back here. There he goes.
Get this in your eyes, it blinds you.
That's it. You fight. Better that way.
Wow, this is happening.
I wish I could tell you that Andy fought the good fight. He never said who did it, but we all knew. Prison life consists of routine, and then more routine. Every so often, Andy would show up with fresh bruises. The sisters kept at him.
It happened all over.
That was his routine.
Jesus.
I do believe those first 2 years were the worst for him.
It went on for 2 years, and he wouldn't say who was doing it. But like Red said, everybody knew. That's why anytime people make jokes about this certain stuff, I can't say it because of YouTube, but like anytime someone makes jokes about this, it's like, oof. Like it might be funny. Like you hear someone is going to jail or prison. The popular one is don't drop the soap or this or that. And it's like, yeah, that's all haha and hee hee, but like that's real stuff. Like that's real shit right there. Like shouldn't joke about that. Especially when it's men. Especially when it's happened to men. Like men are viewed differently when it comes to sexual like that. And a lot of men like hide it or not mention it because talking about it is not masculine or makes you seem weak or something like that. I mean, that's probably, I don't know if that's the case for Andy or he don't just want to talk because he likes keeping things to himself. But Jesus Christ, to be dealing with this for 2 years.
Special detail carries with it special privileges.
It was outdoor detail. More than 100 men volunteered for the job.
Wallace E. Unger.
Andy, you nuts? Keep your mouth, man. Andy.
Oh, yeah. Maybe enough to buy a new car, and then what? I gotta pay tax on the car. Repair, maintenance. Puts his hand in your shirt and squeezes you.
Does he want to help out since he's a banker?
Bitch, getting yourself killed.
Keep telling no.
Mr. Hadley, you trust your wife?
Oh, where's this going?
Funny. Step aside, Mert. This fucker's having himself an accident.
You don't push him off the roof.
Because if you do trust her, there's no reason you can't keep that 35,000.
He was really gonna chuck him off the roof. I mean, he beats inmates to death. I'm not surprised he would do this too. But that's a very interesting proposition, my friend.
Start making sense.
If you want to keep all that money, give it to your wife. The IRS allows a one-time only gift to your spouse for up to $60,000.
Bullshit. Tax-free?
Tax-free. IRS can't touch 1 cent. I suppose I could set it up for you. That would save you some money. 3 beers apiece for each of my co-workers.
Co-workers, get him. That's rich, ain't it?
I like him so much. A deal you can't refuse.
And that's how it came to pass. That on
Come
the
on.
last day of the job, the convict crew that tarred the plate factory roof in the spring of '49, drinking icy cold Bohemia-style beer.
Wow.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men. We could have been tarring the roof of one of our own houses. We were the lords of all creation. He spent that break hunkered in the shade, a strange little smile on his face.
He's so interesting.
Want a cold one, Andy?
Gave up drinking.
What a man.
Or maybe make a few friends among us cons. Me, I think he did it just to feel normal again.
I gotta say this. If you've watched my channel, you know that, like, how do I put this to not sound like a dick? I have a good memory in, like, connecting, I would say, like, connecting things from one movie to the other, especially movies with similarities. And this being also an adaptation from Stephen King. I don't think I've encountered a lot of Stephen King's stories or movies, but I feel he just has this way to make characters so endearing. Like, we're not even halfway through the movie, and just everything we've seen from Andy is like, and what Red just described about, like, you could think of it as, you know, him attempting to make friends or him trying to get one up on the guards, but like he saw it as him trying to feel normal. Like, it just brings a big ass smile to my face, and I felt that way with the Green Mile as well. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Green Mile, but I'm gonna bet if anyone have seen this movie, there's definitely seen the Green Mile. But like, so many characters there. Obviously, John Coffey, such an endearing character. Like, every scene, every word, every sentence, like every gesture just make you love them even more. And even people like Delacroix, you know, with the rats, you know, it's like, I was told of what he'd done in his past, but like still throughout that movie, you feel so bad for everything he's been through. Or like what Percy put him through during his like execution, and he's just so like endearing. And I just wanted to mention how I love how Stephen King can make you just, because watching this movie, like, even if we find out at the end of the day that he killed his wife and that man, the life he's lived here and like his attributes that he has showed, at least in my book, that shows some kind of like remorse or some sense of like him being a changed man. And you know, isn't that what rehabilitation is for anyways? But I just say all that to say, like, I love how just being almost an hour into the movie is like, Andy's so freaking endearing. Like, he's a good friend, someone to have in your corner, I feel.
Kingman. Civilized, strategic,
and a total mystery.
Well, maybe let me teach you someday.
Cheers.
Sure. And we can be kind of friends, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess.
Ask you something. Why'd you do it?
I'm innocent, Red.
That question again.
What are you in for?
Tell us.
Murder. Only guilty man in Shawshank.
Wow. He did not deny it.
Where's the canary? Quite a surprise to hear a woman sing my house, eh, Johnny?
Movie night.
This is the part I really like, just when she does that shit with her hair.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen it 3 times this month.
Me?
They're all losing their mind.
I understand you're a man that knows how to get things. Rita Hayworth.
What?
Can you get her?
Take a few weeks. But I'll get her. Relax.
Is it like a meeting or something? Like get someone to come visit him?
Take a walk. I gotta change the rear. I say
2 years and counting. And the fact that Andy wouldn't like attack them. I mean, Red did tell him do not use that hammer to attack anyone, but it's like at this point, dog, at this point, like, yeah, I gotta go.
You do that and I'll put all 8 inches of the steel in your ear.
You should know that sudden serious brain injury causes the victim to bite down hard.
You wanna bet? Go ahead, try him.
I read it. You know how to read? You ignorant.
Boggs didn't put anything in Andy's mouth. What they did do is beat him within an inch of his life.
God.
Andy spent a month in the infirmary.
A month.
Boggs spent a week in the hole.
So they reported him this time. Is there a reason his crew, I don't know if I can call Red and his dudes, the dudes that did the tar job on the ceiling, on the roof, is there a reason they haven't like stepped in to assist Andy? Let me know. Oh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Take all that.
No! No! Help!
And what I'm saying too also goes for Captain too. Captain is gonna get what's coming to him too, because like he killed a man at the beginning of this movie. Let's not forget, but let him give this man what he's owed to, man. Cause no. And let me make something clear. Me saying he should get what he's owed is not, this is not any homophobic dog whistles. You ain't getting that from me. I'm not on that energy. Let him get this ass whooping for everything he has inflicted on Andy. Not because he's a homosexual or identifies that way or not. Let me clarify, because I know sometimes in media, people can use something as an excuse to be horrific and homophobic. Nah, let him get this ass whooping for all the crimes he's committed against Andy. Not because he's homophobic. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. So if there's any supporters of that, don't latch on to me as a way to be homophobic or hate on his sexuality or anything. I'm just saying he should get an ass whooping for all the shit he been doing to Andy. And I'm sure other inmates, honestly. I always have to clarify things because we're on the internet.
To my knowledge, he lived out the rest of his days drinking his food through a straw. I'm thinking Andy could use a nice welcome back when he gets out of the infirmary.
Sounds good to us.
Man likes to play chess. Let's get him some rocks. The boys came through in fine style. And by the week Andy was due back, we had enough rocks saved up to keep him busy till rapture.
Wow.
Also got a big shipment in that week. Playing cards with naked ladies on them, you name it. Rita Hayworth herself.
Ah, a picture. This whole time I was wondering, like, poster. No charge.
Heads up. We're tossing the cells.
123.
I was wondering when we're gonna see him again. Are they gonna take his pictures away?
Place you will.
They're gonna take that poster, aren't they? Sorry, y'all. Cat intermission. This is Gus. And Gus likes to put his ass and face on my microphone. So, buddy. We're gonna be here for a while. Hope y'all don't mind. Get a good look at Chubbs. Have you guys seen a cat that licks like a dog? This is the first cat I've ever seen that licks someone like a dog. Alright, you can go sit on your chair. Good? Okay, stay there, okay?
Any favorite passages?
Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh.
Mark 13:35. Always like that one. But I prefer, I'm the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall...
Oh?
John chapter 8, verse 2.
Ooh.
I hear you good with numbers.
You want to explain this? It's called a rock blanket for shaping and polishing rocks. A little hobby of mine.
Don't take it away.
It's pretty clean. Some contraband here, but nothing to get in a twist over.
Not his picture.
But I suppose exceptions can be made.
Dawson's sales was just an excuse. Truth is, Norton wanted to size Andy up.
Oh?
Befitting a man of your education.
Hey, Jake, where's Brooks? Andy. And I thought I heard you out here.
Jake is grown.
We're assigned to you.
I know, they told me. Ain't that a kick in the head?
Oh, the library.
Shawshank Prison Library. National Geographics. Earl Stanley Gardner's. Easy peasy, Japanese.
In all that time, have you ever had an assistant?
No, not much to it, really. It'd be nice to have some company down here for a change.
I like him.
That's him. That's the one.
What does that mean? That's the one.
I'm Deacons. Thinking about maybe setting up some kind of trust fund for my kids' educations.
Oh.
Why don't we have a seat and talk it over?
And then Andy says, Mr. Deacon, you want your sons to go to Harvard or Yale? Deacon just blinked for a second, and then he laughed himself silly. I near swelled myself.
Making a few friends, huh, Andy?
Gonna ask for something. Ask for pool table.
How do you expect to do that? I'm getting new books in here, Mr. Dufresne, if you please.
Ask the warden for funds.
Perhaps I could write the state senate and request funds directly from them.
As far as they're concerned, only 3 ways to spend the taxpayers' hard-earned when it comes to prisons.
I'll write a letter a week. They can't ignore me forever.
Sure can. I'll even mail them for you. How's that?
So Andy started writing a letter a week.
He's doing their whole finances.
The following April, Andy did tax returns for half the guards at Shawshank. Year after that, he did them all, including the wardens. Yes, sir, Andy was a regular cottage industry. In fact, it got so busy at tax time, he was allowed a staff.
Wow. Yo, I think this is what I alluded to earlier about the way Stephen King is just so good at making, not just making characters endearing, but also making you root for them. Because, I mean, he's making it out the mud. Even hiring a staff, even bringing Red up here, even though for a limited time. I love that though, and I love this. I also love this angle of like his knowledge and personality is also currency. You know what I mean? Like his good attitude is also currency. And I feel like that's something I appreciate so much just in life in general. It's like it's not always gonna be about finances or always gonna be about how much you make. It's like what you got up here. It's like what you got in your heart. You know, I believe that that can put you into a lot of rooms that, you know, your degrees or your monies sometimes won't get you into. You know, it's like, what kind of a human being are you? Can people confide in you? Can people trust you? All these things. So I also love that angle too. Dog, this movie is amazing. Oh shit. And I love that the movie, there's a long stretch of time as well, you know, which makes sense. They're in prison. But the first time skip we saw was 2 months after he came, then 2 years. And I think there's been one more time skip just in the last 2 scenes as well.
Red, Andy, it's Brooks.
Just drop that. We can talk about this, right?
Nothing to talk about, goddamn.
What's happening?
What's he done to you?
And that's what they done. I got no choice.
Brooks, you're not gonna hurt Haywood. We all know that. Even Haywood knows that, right, Haywood?
I know that, sir.
You know why you're not gonna hurt him? Because he's a friend of yours and because Brooks Hadlin is a reasonable man.
That's right, that's right. Is that right, guys?
Yes. Brooks, look at his neck. He's bleeding.
Is he struggling mentally?
It's the only way they let me stay.
Hey, come on.
He don't want to get released?
Hell, what about me? Crazy old fool goddamn near cut my throat.
Brooks ain't no bug, just institutionalized.
Mm-hmm. Can't get out.
The man's been in here 50 years, Haywood. 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably couldn't get a library card if you tried.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, these walls are funny, and you get used to them.
Becomes your home. And that sentiment too is also true. Like, in here you're important. But when you get out, this is me taking a deep breath and not wanting to get into the whole prison industrial complex and everything about like the end goal. And when you get out, it's like, for some reason, it also got me thinking about like veterans too, that also come back home and it's like, you get a thumbs up and that's it for the most part. That's so sad. It's like, yeah, he's been there for so long. Like, and I like that Red used the most common example. He couldn't even get a library card if he wanted. Took less a good job or like something that'll make him valued outside of that. Freaking horrifying, man. Aw, Jack.
Can't take care of you no more, Jake.
Jake, not Jack.
Go on now. You're free.
Just like you. 50 years. It's like it's a whole different world out there at this point. Might as well be on Mars or Jupiter. Wow. He's probably terrified.
I saw an automobile once when I was a kid, but now
It's everywhere. Does he have any family or?
I don't think the store manager likes me very much. Sometimes after work, I go to the park. Jake might just show up and say hello.
Aww.
Maybe I should get me a gun and rob the foodway so they'd send me home. I could shoot the manager while I was at it.
So let me shoot the manager like a bonus. I love him, man. I love how it made us invested in this like side character like so much. Like, again, what I spoke on about earlier, just rooting for them.
Not for an old crook like me.
Please, no. Please. Please, no. This can't. What is he doing? Not like this, man.
Not for an old crook like me. P.S. Tell Haywood I'm sorry I put a knife to his throat. No hard feelings, Brooks.
Wow.
You should have died in here.
That is such a, he should have died in here. That, I don't even know the right adjective to describe that. It's like, is it ironic? No. It's like you wouldn't expect someone to say that, well, I wish you had died in prison. But with everything we've experienced and what he mentioned about being institutionalized, it's like 1000% he would have been at peace more. Again, let's keep going with the movie because like I keep like saying there's no point getting into a big talk about prisons and sentencings and stuff like that. Obviously, I know it's important in some cases, but it's like, what is the end goal? The amount of money that is put into, here I go starting to talk about it. But let's keep moving ahead, man. This is RIP, man. RIP Brooks. That was his name, Brooks.
All this.
You tell me, they're all addressed to you.
Take it.
For the library?
In response to your repeated inquiries, the state has allocated the enclosed funds for your library project. In addition, the library district has generously responded with a charitable donation of used books and sundries.
Wow.
We now consider the matter closed. Please stop sending us letters.
Please stop sending us letters. He made a difference.
It only took 6 years.
6 years. I love that. So 6 years in total. He's been here 8 years-ish. Did he lock him in the toilet? Wow. Is he gonna play it for everyone? Okay, you're gonna get in trouble, Andy, but I love what you're doing. I love this. He's such a difference maker.
I have no idea to this day what those two Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are best left unsaid.
Andy, man.
And for the briefest of moments, every last man at Shawshank felt free.
Open the door. Dufresne, open this door!
He's so reluctant.
I am warning you, Dufresne. Turn that off!
He's gonna turn it up. Yeah. One time for the one time. I just want to say two things. First, this for anything just shows that life can be better in here, but like they choose to make it not for the inmates. Now, there's a conversation there to be had about morality and people who do bad things should suffer and stuff like that. I'm not here to take one side or the other, especially if you or someone you know have personally gone through something hard as the result of like a criminal that's in prison. Like, I'm not here to, I'm just saying overall, like, this just shows what that song did for all these people and how John explained, how Red explained that like they felt, every man in Shawshank like felt free for the first time because of that song. It just shows that like that's one abstract example, but I believe that there's so many things that could be done to make their lives better in the prison, but they choose not to because they want to be strict. They want to be like enforce power and authority and all that, and maybe punish the people that are already there. You know, that's the first thing. The second thing is like, it don't matter how much you guys threaten Andy, what he went through those first 2 years, ain't nothing y'all can do that he haven't seen before, or could be worse than what the ladies did to him in his first 2 years and the whole month he spent in the infirmary from the beating. So at this point, he's like, yeah, I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but oh well, you know? That being said, let's get back to it.
And you couldn't play something good, huh? Hank Williams or something?
They broke the door down before I could take requests.
Was it worth it? 2 weeks in the hole?
I'm saying.
Sorry to keep me company.
So they let you tote that record player down there, huh?
It's in here.
Mm-hmm.
In here. Haven't you ever felt that way about music?
Wow.
I played a mean harmonica as a younger man. Lost interest in it, though.
There's something inside they can't get to, that they can't touch.
Hope.
Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane.
I can see both sides.
Like Brooks did?
Come on, dog. Mic drop. Come on, dog. Like Brooks did. Yeah. Okay, now we're actually officially halfway through. Hey, man. Oh, y'all saying this is the best movie of all time? Oh, y'all saying this is the best movie of all time? Come on. And I'm just gonna say it. I know you guys know I mean well, but like being an artist and making art, what he said, so much bars. Do it so you don't forget. Do it so you don't forget. Like, do it so it feels like the whole world is not built out of these bricks that confined us here. That almost made me teary-eyed almost, honestly, dog, because like, so beautiful, man. Yes, bruh, smuggle yourself a harmonica. Smuggle one in here for yourself. God, this movie. I told y'all from the first 5-10 minutes, I know I'm gonna love this movie. Just this sentiment and everything is connected. I mean, just this line that he just dropped here, it made everything that went on with Brooks even hit so much harder. Him being institutionalized and like, you know, his life ending the way it did. It's because he got so used to here. Not saying it's his fault. That's just what the institution does to you. Man, that was a bar. Oof. I'm going to play back the whole thing.
It's a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside.
Brooks did.
That meant so much to me, man.
Sit down.
So, for some of these parole people, do they just do it for formality? Because it's almost like in their head, they've almost decided, we're going to reject this one.
It says here that you served 30 years of life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You feel you've been rehabilitated?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely rehabilitated.
Little parole rejection present. Go ahead and open it. To go through one of your competitors, I hope you don't mind. I wanted to be a surprise.
Aww. Competitors. Harmonica. Come on. Come on.
It's very pretty, Andy.
I thought he was going to say he will play it when he becomes a free man. To keep that hope alive, you know? I heard Marilyn Monroe had yelled in a tizzy back in the day. Tell me all about it in the comments. Remember.
And it was as good as his word. Appropriations Committee voted an annual payment of $500.
Wow.
Shut him up. And you'd be amazed how far Andy could stretch it.
Treasure Island, Robert Louis
Stevenson.
Count of Monte Cristo.
That's Cristo, you dumb shit.
Mass. Dumbass.
Dumbass. Dumas. You know what that's about? You'll like it. It's about a prison break.
We ought to file that on the educational too, oughtn't we?
Yes.
Lawyers don't know what to do.
Him that wasn't liking the music.
Performing all manner of public service. These men can learn the value of an honest day's labor while providing a valuable service to the community.
Bare minimum of expense is a fairly loose term. There are 100 different ways to skim off the top. Men, materials, you name it.
I love that they said it. Slave labor. Go read up on the 13th Amendment. I love that they said it. Darn near free labor. Till this day. Go argue with your mom. I don't know. We still have half of a movie to go. Maybe that big rant about prisons will come very soon. Maybe that big rant about prisons will come very soon. I got my eyes on you, Eric Adams and Rikers in New York, to mention a few. Let's keep going. We'll see.
Just have some of this fine pie my missus made specially for you. Think about that.
With some cheese in there.
And behind every shady deal, behind every dollar earned, was Andy.
Get my stuff down the laundry. 2 suits for dry clean, a bag of whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Tell them they overstarched my shirts again. They're going to hear about it from me. Woman can't bake with shit.
Jesus, man.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies from what I hear.
2 years and a half. He's got scams you haven't even dreamed of. Kickbacks. Stocks, securities, tax-free municipals.
Oh.
Money out into the real world, and when it comes back.
Clean as a virgin's honey powder. I know you're good, Andy, but all that paper leaves a trail. Now, FBI, IRS, whatever. It's gonna lead to somebody.
The silent partner, where the filtering process starts. They trace anything, it's just gonna lead to him. Second cousin to Harvey the Rabbit.
Wow.
I conjured him out of thin air.
You can't just make a person up.
I'm sure you can. If you know how the system works, where the cracks are.
I'll be damned.
My question is, why are you just doing things to enrich the wardens' lives? What about some of y'all? Because I believe Andy is smart enough to, like, you know, send some of that money somewhere, no matter how small. Small enough that they don't even notice. I mean, he does all their bookkeeping and everything, so, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I will always be on that Robin Hood mindset. If someone is freaking hustling the whole country, or someone is hustling people who are... Have you seen The Wire? Kind of like Omar, you know? The hood Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind the warden getting hustled a little bit, make him a millionaire by the time he's retired. How about you make us some, like, 5 figures as well? Oh, no, man. Wishful thinking.
On the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow.
Exactly.
I had to go to prison to be a crook.
New inmates. Is that Elvis?
That's breaking and entering to you. Cops caught him sneaking TV sets out the back door of a J.C. Penney.
Hey, come on, old boys! Move it like molasses! Making me look bad!
We liked him immediately.
Peace, kid. Hands in the air. Well, I'm just standing there holding on to that TV, so finally the voice says, "You hear what I said, boy? And a property, too."
You don't seem to be a very good thief. Maybe you should try something else. Lawyer fuck.
He stole your line.
Everybody's innocent in here. Don't you know that?
He's not the old head. And I love the details of him starting to, like, have grays as well. I've even lost count of how long they've been here, honestly. 15 years at this point? No, it's way more. Because the last time was 10 years. Maybe 10 to 15 years at this point.
I was thinking maybe trying for my high school equivalency. Here you helped a couple fellows with that.
Don't waste time on losers, Tommy.
I ain't no goddamn loser.
R-S-S-T.
So Andy took Tommy under his wing, started walking him through his ABCs. It was the same reason he spent years shaping and polishing those rocks. The same reason he hung his fantasy girlies on the wall. Prison. A man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied.
I love that he has his chessboard completed.
He's proud of you.
Smart fella, ain't he?
Smart as they come. Must be a banker on the outside.
What's he in here for, anyway?
Murder. Caught his wife in bed with some golf pro. Reached them both.
He never confirmed that, though.
4 years ago, I was in Thomaston on a 2 to 3 stretch. Stole a car. Big, twitchy 6 to 12. Armed burglary. Hard to believe how strung as he was. He'd cut a loud fart. He jumped 3 feet in the air.
Wow.
Talked all the time, too. That's the other thing. He never shut up.
Country club. So I could case all these big, rich pricks that come in. He wakes up, gives me shit. And this tasty was with.
Andy's innocent.
Golf pro, but she married some other guy. Some hotshot banker. He's the one they pinned it on.
Wow.
I have to say, that's the most amazing story I ever heard.
Of course, nobody's gonna believe him.
Most as you were taken in by it. Surprising he wouldn't know what a state he put you in.
Can you be so obtuse?
What did you call me?
What the hell does obtuse mean? That's not even a word I've ever heard. Like, ever. I'm guessing it means stupid or not caring. Annoyingly insensitive or slow to understand. Yeah, I need to add that to my bag. I definitely need to add that to my bag, to my verbiage. Not sharp-pointed or sharp-edged, blunt. How could you be so obtuse? I'm glad I checked. Oh, brother. Yeah, Warden is being pretty obtuse right now. My cat was looking out the window, so I try to open the blinds wider so he can look. You've been there for a minute, Gus. Let's get back to this obtuse fella here.
The country club will have his old time cards, records, W-2s with his name on them.
Frayne, if you want to indulge this fantasy, that's yours.
If I were to ever get out, I would never mention what goes on in here. I'd be just as indictable as you for laundering that money.
Don't you ever mention money to me again, you sorry son of a... Not in this office, not anywhere. Get in here now.
Just trying to set your mind at ease, that's all.
Get him out of here.
Wow. I was just about to say, maybe the reason he's being so obtuse, or the reason he's not caring much, is because, like, Andy's doing him a great service, you know? And he don't want to lose Andy for all the good things Andy does for him. And when Andy went on and said, if I ever get out of here, I won't tell anybody anything, I immediately got scared for Andy, because I'm like, what is stopping this man from taking you out when he's done? And it's scenes like this that make his whole religious Bible Christian thing just like, yeah, sure. You know, laundering money, doing all this. Like, come on, dog. So right now I'm worried for like Andy, because like if he's done with you and he's made enough money, he can take Andy out. Like take that secret to his grave kind of energy. Wow, this is the first time Andy has ever fought for his freedom, or to say he didn't do it just because he found a way out. Because even in court, he agreed with the lawyer that, yes, I know what this looks like. I know how this seems based on the evidence and everything. I keep saying evidence. Was there actual evidence? Okay, yes, there were the bullets, the liquor, the DNA, his hands on things. So yeah, there was evidence. Yeah, this is the first time he's ever fought, because he sees a chance, that hope.
You didn't pull the trigger, and you certainly didn't convict him.
Well, you saying that Andy is innocent? Sweet Jesus.
What is that? 19 years?
19. But that was you.
Yeah, over here.
Come on, will you throw that away, please?
Watch him get in.
Oh, shit.
A whole month.
The kid passed. C+ average. Thought
Wow.
you'd like to.
Right here?
That's what the man said.
They better not be trying to take him out or something.
Tommy? Tommy. I'm asking
Wow.
you to keep this conversation just between us.
What are you trying to do? He's trying to bribe him or something? Manipulate him? Take him out?
Tell you, son, this thing really came along to knock my wind out. Sometimes it's hard to know what that is. You understand?
Huh?
I need your help, son. I have to know if what you told Dufresne was the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Would you be willing to swear before a judge and jury, having placed your hand on the good book and taken an oath before Almighty God himself?
Just give me that chance.
They're gonna take him out. He just wanted to make sure. A whole month in there. He darn near lost his mind in there.
I'm sure by now you've heard. Less than a year to go trying to escape. We just have to put it behind us.
Asshole.
Get someone else to run your scams.
Mm-hmm.
You will do the hardest time there is. Pull you out of that one bunk Hilton and cast you down with the sodomites. We'll have us a little book barbecue in the yard. You'll see the flames for miles. Or am I being obtuse?
Obtuse.
Give him another month to think about it.
Another month? That had to break his mind. Rough.
My wife used to say I'm a hard man to know.
Hmm.
Like a closed book. God, I loved her. Just didn't know how to show it, that's all. I killed her, Red.
He did?
I didn't pull the trigger. I drove her away.
Gotcha. Don't blame yourself. It's good that they showed it, because I was wondering, not wondering too much, just because the whole movie has just been so gripping this whole time. But like my mind lingered every now and then to like, you know, why did she cheat? I mean, she has agency. That was her own decision to cheat on him. But like, kind of lingered in my mind, like, was their marriage good or this or that? So I love that he just kind of talked about it, how like he wasn't present. He didn't know how to show it, and it drove her away. Although I would not, I know he's just feeling guilty, but I won't blame. Yes, he can take blame for pushing her away, but not to the murder. Like, there's no way you could have known that was gonna happen or something like that.
Feel bad about it if you want to, but you didn't pull the trigger.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did. I was in the path of the tornado. You'll ever get out of here.
Gotta hope.
When I got a long white beard and 2 or 3 marbles rolling around upstairs, they let me out.
Little place on the Pacific Ocean. You know what the Mexicans say about the Pacific? It has no memory. That's where I want to live the rest of my life. Warm place with no memory. In a place like that, I could use a man that knows how to get things.
Invitation.
I don't think I could make it on the outside, Andy.
Wow.
I've been in here most of my life. In here, I'm the guy who can get things for you, sure, but I mean, Mexico is way the hell down there, and you're in here, and that's the way it is.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really.
Get busy leaving, you get busy dying.
If you ever get out of here, do me a favor.
Sure, Andy.
The big hayfield up near Buxton. You know where Buxton is?
It's a lot of hayfield.
Got a long rock wall. A big oak tree at the north end.
Oh?
That's where I asked my wife to marry me. Made love under that oak
and...
What's buried under there?
Treasure?
He asked me for a length of rope.
No.
6 feet long. And you gave it to him. Sure I did. Why wouldn't I?
Every man has his breaking point.
I mean, after 2 months in the hole.
Lickety split. Want to get home.
Andy, what are you trying to do?
Get my stuff down the laundry. It's good having you back, Andy.
Can't end like this, man. Andy. Someone give him a sign or something.
I've had some long nights in stir. Alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts time can draw out like a blade.
You can give him a sign. Andy, please come out.
Man missing on tier 2, cell 245.
Andy, please walk out.
Come down there, I'll thump your skull for you.
Oh my holy God.
Huh? Prison break?
Him.
Prison break?
But sir, he wasn't.
I can see that, hey? Think I'm blind? Tell me what this is.
Last night's count.
Mm-hmm. You see Dufresne's name there? I sure do. See, right there. Dufresne.
Did he dig his way out?
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast. Now.
Yes, sir.
I see you two all the time. You're thick as thieves, you are. Damn rocks on the windowsill. And that cupcake on the wall. Let's ask her. Maybe she knows. What say there, fuzzy britches? Feel like talking?
Is there a hole behind that?
That's what this is.
It went through, didn't it? Woo! He's been digging this whole time. So he's been digging since the first poster.
66, Andy Dufresne escaped from Shawshank prison. All they found of him was a muddy set of prison clothes, a bar of soap, and an old rock hammer.
How?
It would take a man 600 years to tunnel through the wall with it. Oh, Andy loved geology. I imagine it appealed to his meticulous nature. An ice age here, that's all it takes, really. In prison, a man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied.
Wow.
I'm just about finished, sir.
And he took his shoe. Andy, you sick. Oh, man, Andy.
3 deposits tonight.
He played you. He played him.
How often do you really look at a man's shoes?
For real, how often? Hold on. Like, some part of me, I had faith that this movie is constructed so beautifully and the story is constructed so well that we won't just see a repeat of events, like what happened to Brooks, how Brooks ended. So like part of me had faith that like this story is written so well that like Andy won't just end up like that. But at the same time, this story is very raw as you know, with what happened to Frank, with what happened to Brooks, I was doubting till the very last second till it happened. I was doubting, hoping it wouldn't happen. With what happened to the kid that also came too, like I saw the writings on the wall, but I was kind of like hoping they're just there to intimidate him or something. But nah, they sniped him. So like part of my brain, I was hoping, I was like, man, like that rope, that freaking rope. I was hoping he wouldn't go out like Brooke did. Sure enough, this man been digging for 20 years. Because if I remember correctly, he got that poster fairly early on. Because after he asked for the hammer from Red, I think that was the next thing he asked for. Marilyn Monroe. Wow. What can I say? He's been studying the place for 20 whole years. Attached to his leg. Using the sound. That looks like shit.
5 football fields.
Jesus.
Just shy of half a mile.
500 miles. You made it. You made it, Andy. The rain.
The next morning, right about the time Raquel was spilling her little secret, a man nobody ever laid eyes on before strolled into the Maine National Bank. Until that moment, he didn't exist. Except on paper.
Except on paper.
He had all the proper ID, driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and the signature was a spot-on match.
I must say, I'm sorry to be losing your business. I hope you'll enjoy living abroad.
Would you add this to your outgoing mail?
Exposing the warden, please.
All told, he blew town with better than $370,000 of Warden Norton's money. Severance pay for 19 years.
Expose them. Yes, sir. Come get his stupid ass. His hammer.
I wasn't there to see it, but I hear Byron Hadley started sobbing like a little girl when they took him away.
Yes, please. Who does he want to fight with that, himself or them? Too much shame, too much pride.
Thing that went through his head. It was blank, but the postmark said Fort Hancock, Texas. I picture him heading south in his own car with the top down, It always makes me laugh.
Hope.
Swear the stuff he pulled.
These friends of mine could use a couple of beers.
The story from the rooftop.
Sometimes it makes me sad, though. Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice.
I just want to make a comparison to, not a comparison, but that line, a part of you always know there's a sin for them to be locked up. Again, Green Mile spoilers. But when John Coffey was talking to Tom's character, you know, when Tom told him, like, what do I do when I go to heaven and God asks me what I did to one of his angels, you know, something like that. And just this idea of like him just telling John Coffey that like you were too good for this world. I don't know, the moment he said that, my mind just went, man, I need to rewatch The Green Mile, y'all. Ugh, that film. But yeah, what Red just said made me think about that. Would there be a difference now that the warden is gone?
Please sit down.
40 years at this point, right?
Ellis Boyd Redding, if I'll say you've served 40 years of a life sentence,
Yes.
you feel you've been rehabilitated?
Well, now, let me see. No, I don't have any idea what that means.
Well, it means you're ready to rejoin society.
I know what you think it means, Sonny.
Tell him.
Not a day goes by I don't feel regret.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta live with that. Rehabilitated. It's just a word. So you go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time.
We're going to Mexico. Let me pause here real quick and just say something. In this moment, after that, his final conversation that he just had with the parole board, I feel content in the sense that like even if they denied him again, just from what he said, honestly, I know this may seem like unfair. I mean, it is unfair. The whole system is, but it's almost like in a way, he's made peace with it, that he might end up there forever. He's made peace with it, and also maybe Andy being gone, or Andy being that bird, like he said, that escaped the cage, was like enough for him, you know? Well, not enough, but like he's made his peace with it is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, being outside beats that. But I'm just saying I wouldn't have been surprised if they still stamped rejected on it. Because something Red said himself in the beginning when the ladies were attacking Andy, he said, I would like to believe Andy fought the good fight and they left him alone that night. But in here, ain't no fairy tales. Like, this is real life in here. So I would have been fine with if they had rejected him there, because like the story has kind of showed us that like this tale can be very like blunt, realistic, harsh, but I would have had some happiness that at least he's at peace with it now. Be that as it may, I'm happy my boy is out. I'm happy he's making his way to Mexico. I just feel like I should touch upon that before we continue. Because as I stamp that stamp, I'm not going to lie, my mind, I was praying for approved, but my mind was getting ready for if it was rejected again. Because I'm like, at least he has peace. Like, he told them his peace. Anybody listen to that, they know that, yes, this man is not the man he was when he committed that crime. Let's go live a long life in freaking Mexico. I can't remember the name of the place. That was Brooks' spot.
40 years I've been asking permission to piss. I can't squeeze a drop without say-so.
Wow.
There's a harsh truth to face. No way I'm gonna make it on the outside. Terrible thing to live in fear. A promise I made to Andy.
Oh yeah, what Andy left for you. I know it's gonna be something valuable, but so there's a big rock fence and an oak tree. Start digging, my guy. A letter? So it's not a lot of money, but the letter is going to be way more worth it. But now my question is, did he drop this letter before or after he got out? Well, obviously before, because obviously after, because he just said red. He definitely didn't know red before he went in, so. Oh, he just knew the spot and knew to hide something under there when he got out. Gotcha. The movie, the recording is 3 hours long, so forgive me.
I could use a good man to help me get my project on wheels. I'll keep an eye out for you. Hope is a good thing. I will be hoping that this letter finds you, Andy.
Friend. I think this is the first time he referred to Red as friend. Definitely worth more than the cash.
That's goddamn right. Not for an old crook like me. Fort Hancock, Texas, please.
So that was his only crime.
I can barely sit still to hold a thought in my head. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand.
On the beach and everything? Yeah. You better run like Forrest. Better run and hug that man. Alan Green. Tim Robbins. I haven't seen him in anything else. This movie right here, this is one of them ones. Man on Fire. Seen that already. Stephen King. This is one of them ones. There you have it, folks. Now I can beat my chest and say I have seen. I mean, this video you guys are watching had everything, all the commentary about everything I felt during every scene. The way Andy is such a brilliant character. A character that life dealt him the wrong cards. He was fine with that. He was at peace with that. I shouldn't say at peace, but he was in acceptance with that until something came along. It's blowing my mind that he's been digging the whole time. 20 years. A big ass poster. What did Red say? Pressure and time. I love how much. God, this is one of them movies where like they're so perfect that you just end up needing more. Like in my head, I'm just wishing this was like a 10 episode mini series, kind of like Band of Brothers or like Chernobyl, so that we can flesh out all the extra characters. Cause like the way Red obviously was, I think you can consider him a main character as well, but like other characters like Brooke, like the way they got us invested in Brooke's life, the end of his life, and the message that his death showed to them. It's like, come on man, sign me up for 6 more hours of this story in this world. Stephen King, yo. I love that in this movie the warden got what was coming to him. I mean, I would have preferred him to serve time and like pay for his crimes, but the warden, the sergeants, God, so many moments in this movie just brought a big smile to my face. One of my favorite scenes was the beer scene at the top of the roof. It's like everything Red said It could be that he did this just to cater favor with the guards. It could be he did this to make some friends, but he chose to believe that he just did it to feel normal again. Absolutely loved Andy's character, everything he stood for, how he brought hope into this place, the changes he brought into this place. With your education, people getting their, is it GEDs or like their high school qualifications? The whole montage about him doing all their taxes and everything. Like I love when shows have characters that like they are like a domino. Shows and movies where like they're just like the first piece in the domino and everything changed. This man wrote letters for 6 years and finally got a $200 donation and other book donations. Like he was invested, he was committed. His whole idea of hope, especially the scene when he was talking about the harmonica. It's like, how do you, like, you need something to remind you that this walls is not all that life is. And obviously Red's rebuttal to that was get rid of hope, you know, and you know, him bringing up Brooks. It's like, we don't want to end up like Brooks, you know, because he gave up hope. Again, not to his fault. This film. Let it settle for a couple of days, then I'll come back to y'all if this is the greatest film of all time. But like, I get that feeling, or I got that feeling, the same feeling I got when I watched Green Mile for the first time, the same feeling I got when I watched Titanic for like I think 2 months ago or a month ago when I saw Titanic, the same feeling when I got when I saw The Sixth Sense. It's like there's just these movies that you watch and it's like before that movie and after that movie. The movies are just that impactful. And you know, this was great. Thank you all for watching, man. I know some of you have been sitting on me to watch this one for a long time. It's finally here. It's finally here. I hope you enjoy. Blessings, y'all. I'm gonna go relax. This has been a long movie that I emotionally invested in, and I do not regret it. Thank you all. Good to be back. Take it easy.